This is a video on how to play Blackbox, this classical board game that I've made an app from. If you open my app, this is the first page you'll come to, and at the bottom here you'll see how to play. So here I have described, like, try to put the rules, and down here at the bottom you'll see an image. Some people have asked me, I don't see these light beams when I play. Yeah, it's because I didn't make it that way. This is just for illustration. You can read that, but now I'm going to make a setup. So the idea is you have a black box here, and you can hide atoms in it, like this. Now I've hidden an atom, and I'm going to hide one there, and one there, and one there, and one there, let's say. And one there. Okay. Play. I wanted it to be so that I could see them. Yeah. Let's go to settings. And then I can show atoms. Yes. Make a setup. What did I do? I put one here. Let's just put one there. And one there. And one there and there. And one there. And one there. Yeah, okay, play. Now I can see the atoms, you see. This is just for illustration. It would be really boring to play like this, because now you see the answer. So what happens is you send light beams. Like, for example, if I press 11 here. Now this is a light beam. And these symbols only show where it goes in and where it comes out. So don't worry about the symbols, they will all be different, but the only reason they are different is so that you can identify them, so that you can see that this is the same light beam. You can't, however, see how it travels inside the black box. That's why it's a black box. You can't really see anything inside the black box. You can only see things that go in and come out. Now, if the beam hits an atom on the side, like the one in, say, 5, 6, in the coordinates 5, 6. If I shoot 29 now, the beam will come like this. I can actually mark this by pressing and holding. When it reaches there, it will be deflected by this atom in 5, 6. Is it a 5, 6? It's a 5, 5. Yeah, I always find this so confusing. So it's in 5, 5, obviously. There's an atom in 5, 5. And when the light beam comes into 4, 4 like this, it gets deflected 90 degrees, so it actually continues out like this. Which we'll see if I now press 29. You see it came out there. That's what happens when you are diagonal from an atom, when the light beam is diagonal from an atom. It can do so several times, like if I fire 31 now, the light beam will come like this. Go over there. And when it hits this point, it will be deflected upwards. And when it hits this point, it will be deflected again and come out here. So I shoot it like that. Now you may wonder what happens if I fire 13. Actually, you might not wonder that yet, because you don't know about hit yet. Let's fire 22. That was a hit. So what happens is the light beam comes in here and here. And when it's there, heading straight towards an atom, it will be absorbed in the atom. So it doesn't come out again. And that is marked by a red cross like that. So if I fire 13, what's going to happen? The light beam is going to come like this. And when it's here, two things can happen, right? It could be deflected by the atom in coordinates 5, 6. Yes, on row 14, line 14. It could be deflected downwards by that one, or it can be absorbed by the one that is in 5, 5. And the answer is that it is absorbed, because hit trumps deflection. There's a logical reason for this, because otherwise if I fire 6, it should come out in 12, but it won't, because there's one on 7. Okay, let's say the one that I fired on 31 comes out on 12. But if the one I fired on 13 would be deflected, that would also go to 31. So there would be like 2 beams going to 31. And that's not, logically possible to handle. So hit trumps deflection. Now what happens if I fire 23? So the light beam comes in here. And what happens here? You might logically think that it's deflected twice and returns. It turns 180 degrees and comes back on 23. And that's exactly what happens. And that's marked like this. So this means reflection, which means it goes in and comes out at the same place. Then we don't need a symbol for it. It can just be... all reflections look the same, basically. So if I fire 2, that's another reflection. That does not mean that there is a white beam that went in on 2 and came out on 23. It means that both of these are reflections. Now, what will happen if I fire, for example, 6? So it's supposed to be deflected already before it gets into the board, right? Because it's already diagonal from an atom. But then it would come out like outside the board. On slot 33, if you like. But 33 is not there. So what happens is that that's also reflection. That basically means it's deflected before it goes in. So it comes out the same place it went in. So how you play this game is you fire all these beams, and then when you think you are done, I think I'm just going to do this now because I have to unmark them and then mark them again. Now I've marked all the 6 atoms, then I press, this is my final answer, and you get your score, which in this case is 11. That is 1 for each symbol outside the board. So hits and reflections cost you only 1 point, whereas beams that go in and come out cost you 2 points, which is fair because they also give more information. Had I placed one atom wrong, like say I placed one there instead, that's marked like this. So the blue one is the one I didn't find, and the red one is the one I misplaced, put in the wrong place. And now you can see in the score that I have an atom penalty of 5. And you're supposed to have as low score as possible. So misplacing an atom is very expensive. Basically that's it. Happy playing.